It's obviously better than gold. It's obviously better than all the other ideas we have. It's too perfect. It's too good to be true. And so the reason I say do not sell your Bitcoin is because if I look back at my life as an investor, the things that I regret are when I found a really good idea and I underinvested in it. Like Google was a good idea, Facebook was a good idea, Apple was a good idea, Amazon was a good idea. A digital monopoly that changes the world for 1 billion people is a good idea. And yet, the most common two mistakes after finding a good idea is, first mistake is someone says something, they talk crap about your idea, there's FUD, oh, Australia's going to tax Google, or somebody's going to Amazon's going to get regulated, or something will happen, and so people panic sell. And so whenever there's anxiety in the market and you panic sell and then you never buy back in, you regret that. And the second thing you always regret is you wish you bought more. Bitcoin represents the dominant digital property network of the 21st century. It's a very simple idea. Take the money you want to give to your grandchildren, convert it to Bitcoin, put it in cold storage and wait. Let the rest of the world do the work, and you'll be the beneficiary of all the intelligent people, no matter where they might be in the world. You'll be the beneficiary of all their work with doing nothing else. There's only one mistake you can make. And the mistake you can make is study the world, get anxiety about something going on somewhere in the world, and sell your Bitcoin. Common phrase, you do not sell your Bitcoin, is similar to what's written on the back of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, which is the famous 2 words from Douglas Adams: don't panic. Bitcoin is pristine collateral. It's theoretically the ideal collateral against which to take a loan. And so we felt that by us doing this deal with Silvergate Bank, it would make other banks either jealous or comfortable, and hopefully we'll see an entire Bitcoin banking sector evolve. And we want to support Silvergate Bank, as they move into this space. I think on the flip side, from the point of view of a Bitcoin holder, there's been this meme of, oh, well, I buy some Bitcoin, I wait, and eventually I sell it to buy a Lambo. And I think it's very important for people to know that if you owned a block in Manhattan on Central Park in the year 1900, and if your father, grandfather, grandmother, or great-great-grandmother ever sold that to buy a Lambo, you'd be very angry at them. And if you go back in time and give them advice, you would say, Mom, don't sell the family property, borrow against the family property to buy the Lambo, and then I will inherit the family property, which will be marked up by a factor of 100, and I can also mortgage it or remortgage it to buy my own, electro hover car. My house in Miami Beach is 305 times as expensive as it was in 1930 when it was first sold. I have the bill of sale on my wall. If you back calculate, you conclude that the actual inflation rate of the money supply against scarce desirable assets is 7% a year for 100 years. The government statistic is less than 2%. And so you just have to ask yourself the question, do I want to sell something going up in value 7% a year when I could borrow money at 3% a year? And of course the Bitcoin is more extreme. I mean, Bitcoin is appreciating not because of the rate of currency expansion, but also because of the rate of general mainstream investor adoption, and also because of the increase in technical utility due to things like Lightning and the beautiful things that are being done by Cash App and the like. So, we set up a credit line, we borrow against it, we do it responsibly. We have $5 billion in collateral, we borrowed $200 million. So I'm not telling people to go out and take a highly leveraged loan. What I am doing, I think, is doing my best to lead the way and to normalize the Bitcoin-backed financing industry. I really want people to think of it as the family farm. I'm living on this beautiful farm because my grandfather or my great-great-grandmother came here and said, this is where we should make a life. I'm not selling it, right? This is my vehicle to achieve my goals and my children's goals.
When do you stop buying Bitcoin for MicroStrategy?
Never. No, I tell people we will be buying Bitcoin at the top forever. I'm not trying to time the market. I don't intend to stop. You could think of MicroStrategy as we're kind of like your non-existent spot ETF.
Yeah.
If there was a spot ETF, you'd be paying 1% fee, and it would be not leveraged. With MicroStrategy, we have a software company that generates cash flow, and so we convert our cash flows into Bitcoin, and so we don't charge you a fee, we give you a yield, and between the cash flows from the software company and just a little bit of leverage that we can take via things like the Silvergate loan, we can give you a spot ETF that generates a 4 or 5% tax-deferred yield, and that's kind of an exciting thing. And when will we stop? Well, why would we ever stop? Well, we'll just keep accreting. It should get exponentially more expensive to buy the Bitcoin, but that's okay. You know, when Bitcoin's 500,000 a coin, someone's going to say, well, why are you buying that? You bought some at 10,000. And the answer is going to be because it's more scarce, desirable property than anything else that I could buy. I don't think it could have been better than that. Never in 100 years did the executive branch ever endorse an asset class. When commodity index came out, the executive branch didn't say figure out the commodities index. When John Bogle evangelized the Vanguard 500, the president didn't say every American and every agency should study the Vanguard 500 and indexing of equities. Right? The last time the executive branch had something to say about asset class was the gold edict back in 1933, right? So I feel like we've got really good support from the administration. I think the regulators are progressive and very erudite. You know, when Jerome Powell, Janet Yellen, Gary Gensler have been asked about this, they say, look, it's a store of value asset, it's speculative, if people want to speculate, they can. It's not a currency. I think that all the regulatory agencies have some legitimate responsibility to work through. I think here's the big idea, Mackenzie, which is for a year I've been in rooms with trillions and trillions of dollars. You know, and it's like the Ray Dalio comment, the Jamie Dimon comment. It's something like this. It seems engineered perfectly. It's obviously better than gold. It's obviously better than all the other ideas we have. It's too perfect. It's too good to be true, and so I think someone's going to ban it. And so how do you answer that criticism when someone says it's too good to be true? And it is too good to be true. It's like perfect money. It's a perfect gold with none of the defects of gold, and it's a big tech monopoly with none of the exposure that Google, Facebook, Apple, and Amazon have because they have people and they do things. And so I wanted something better than a big tech monopoly, and I want something better than gold, and so I have Bitcoin. It's too good to be true. Someone's going to ban it. And the single best way to refute that is say, well, this is what the President of the United States has said. Whereas 40 million Americans want this, I direct you to figure out how to bring it in the public policy framework. It's not going to be banned. If you disagree with the White House, the administration, the Senate, and the Congress, I'm not going to get your order. I get it. You'll be a late adopter. But I really think that we couldn't have had a better development than that executive order.